All right. I'm glad you guys are tuning in to my channel. If you have not yet to subscribe, please do so. I can use all the viewership I can get. So the topic I want to bring up is parents that have athletic children. Great subject to speak on. So I'm just wondering, how are you dealing with the circumstances when your child is an athlete playing sports? It can be a difficult matter, right? The funding of how much it costs, the uniform, the cleats, traveling, tournaments, admission to get into all these games, expensive, right? Yes, I went through that with my son over the years. Speaking of just in general, you got your child starting off playing in the sport. He's raw, she's raw, not ever played the game before. They start to see the game is getting fun, and they want to elevate their training, and you want to start investing in them to be a better ball player. Okay, this is when it starts to get expensive on you, because now you invest in time, now you're paying for trainers, now you're paying for them to be on a better team. All that stuff gets to be expensive. But the problem where I got is when you got parents that used to be athletes like myself, and we see the game totally different than what's happening on the playing field or these courts or baseball, whatever sport that they're in, right? Something is not being done right. Now, they got you paying all this money and your child is not even getting in the game. I know it affects you personally, but you got to do your homework and research. Yes, do we want all the children to be able to have a fair advantage and an opportunity to go out and perform, especially when you as a parent is vested all this money for them to be on the team and paid for the admission for them to come to the games, to not see your son or daughter get in at all? It hurts. But that to me shows a clear sign that your child is not developed yet. Okay? He's not developed yet. A lot of these coaches, they're not into development. They're into winning. That's all they care about is winning. So when you sign these kids or your children up into these sports, you need to vet these coaches. See who your child is getting signed up to play under. If this is a coach that's veered towards only winning along with developing, then he's building a powerhouse. He's not trying to wait on your son to get there. He's trying to get players up in there and recruit players up in there, and your son just going to keep going lower and lower and lower on that lineup. He's just going to be wearing a clean uniform week in and week out, and guess what? Your $200, $300, $400, whatever it costs you to be on that squad, went to waste. And guess what? Along with that went to waste the years of him being 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and so forth. You ain't getting no minutes out there, and you're not getting no development. So my advice to you is this: put your child somewhere where he can develop. He can get the reps to get in there to be able to play. And guess what? He's with a coach that really cares about him. And by the time he gets to the next stage in whatever sport he or she is in, they will go in and develop with confidence. A lot of these kids don't have confidence to be great athletes because they're being held back. They're not being developed. Like when I was coming up, we was all being developed equally. Regardless of if one kid was a star athlete or a kid had a gift and was better than others, yeah, they got pushed a little bit. But all they did was press me to want to be better than him. I felt like I was better than him. You not him. To me, you not proven. And if you are him, I'm him too. So you got to build the confidence in your kid to start developing a brain set like that. Because along with that comes other stuff in life that they're going to have to conquer. So if you don't build that ability for them to think, like, I got to continue to prove myself. Even though I was a good ball player, I still felt like I had to prove myself every time I laced up. Every time I laced up, it was important for me to do that because I wanted to leave something on that other side ball player's mind. That dude, Deuce One, gave me a problem. I was not able to get in my bag that day. Or that pitcher on the mound was cold. I didn't think he was that good, but then he didn't let us get nothing. Yeah, that was me. That was my mentality. Did I think I was the best player on that field or on that basketball court? You damn right. Did I always go out there and perform like that? No, but I always went out there with the intention to perform like that. So understand who your child is and where their development is at. Stop thinking that because you spend $500 and put them on this particular team that your son or daughter is supposed to be out there with the rest of them. No, they not. They not. Because they have not done the work to participate like that. The days of you thinking, oh, well, my child's going to play because he's on the team, that shit don't happen no more. I'm just telling you like that. It don't happen no more. And then that's why you start seeing these videos of these parents crashing out because they get into it with these coaches because here it is, 9 games in and their son ain't played but 2 minutes and they boiled up. They boiled up. But you know, just like every other parent that's in them stands know, the reason why your child ain't playing because they not developed yet. Work these kids on their fundamentals and stop letting them watch all these LeBron videos and Kyrie videos and whoever their idols is and thinking that they can go out there and pull off. These men is working. They put in the work to be who they is. Who are we to say that we are them? We not. We not. It's almost like comparing LeBron, Jordan, and Kobe. You cannot compare all 3 of them. All 3 of them had a particular time in their eras where they was him. Yes, Jordan to me won more than LeBron. Went through a harder, rigorous role than LeBron. But let's be honest. In this era, Jordan would have probably scored 50 because of the way the era it is. But as far as the speed of the game, the defensive prowess of the game, the way they shooting threes, let's be real. The 80s was 90s was not clipping down threes like they are right now. Wasn't nobody shooting from the half court placard and the symbol of the fucking. They wasn't doing it. They wasn't doing it, and they couldn't do it. And Jordan wasn't shooting threes like that. His ass was going to the paint and hitting a couple of mid-range jumpers, but he was clutch. That's something that he had over all those 3. He was clutch. He would close the game out the last 2 minutes and make sure his team won, whether it be by free throw, by any means necessary. He's going to win. That is something LeBron is not built for. He's a facilitator. He's not a closer. He's not that. He's done it in his career. But I don't think to reach out to say because he's not him. He's going to defer that pass off and let somebody else take that last shot more than himself. Kobe and Jordan was killers. They wanted that ball to be last. That's the difference. If you're an athlete, you would understand and know that. So you can't do this debate on who was better. LeBron got the stats because he's played longer. At this point, I feel like he has no need to be around any further after this year. But I know what he's doing. He's trying to wait on Bryce. Once Bryce get in, that's when he want to wrap it up. So I just want to talk about that, about the student athletes and the parents that's pushing behind them, man. Stay diligent and be woke. Be honest with yourself. Get your children developed. That way the coach is going to be forced to play your child. Don't sit up there and cause no scene. And you know damn well your son or daughter ain't put the time in to be out there with the rest of them kids yet. He will be or she will be in some years. But have some patience and stop jawing on these coaches, man. They, some of these coaches are not meant to coach kids either. I will say that. There's some bad coaches out there too. But stop putting your children on these teams with these coaches. You see what kind of coach they is, and you trying to get a kid on a winning team instead of putting them with a coach that's aligned to coach them to develop. Peace and love, my people. Stay up.